TV. Welcome to Daytime Ottawa on this Monday. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Before we get started, a big congratulations, by the way, to everybody that was involved in Ottawa race weekend. What an incredible weekend. The weather was perfect. We raised hundreds of thousands of dollars as usual, and a big thanks to everybody here at Rogers TV that were a part of putting that on. We're so proud to be a part of that Ottawa race weekend again, celebrating 50 years. Okay, we're starting a little in an unusual way. Usually I'm over there and the guest is over here, but Shireen is the owner of Sublime Medi Spa. She's been doing just incredible work. I've been working with her for a few months now, and you're in a brand new space, so congratulations.
Yes,
How's it going?
so much. It's going very well. I'm enjoying the space so much. My esthetician's enjoying it as well. Clients are loving the space and loving the services and all the add-ons that we have. And everything's going great.
Right on.
Yeah.
So you're going to do something again. Last time you were on with me, we did something live on the show.
We did.
And we decided, let's try this again. What are we going to be doing with me here today?
What we did last time was we're removing the actinic keratosis with the Plasma IQ skin sublimation pen.
Right.
And we reduced it to, I want to say, 5%. So it is 95% gone completely. So now sometimes we require 2 treatments. So I will be
So these are the little marks you're talking about that were on my cheek here.
It's quite faded already.
Yeah.
Quite faded, quite gone.
Right.
But now I'm going to complete the treatment on it. And this will be the last one you have. After that, I'm going to be using a beautiful new technology.
Okay.
Actually, it's a mask. It's a new innovation.
Okay.
It's not so much as new as it was there since 2015. Now, don't jump, Derek.
I won't jump.
Please.
You know me, I'm tough.
But this time there is no numbing. So the technology of this mask, the carboxy mask, here, the treatment is done.
That's it?
Yes. It is a CO2 Pro
That's
Lift.
cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the treatment.
All I felt was it's like a little shock, right?
Yeah, because we're going to lift that pigment. We're going to lift that growth. So I want to talk about the mask while I'm preparing and mix it. It is a CO2 Pro Lift mask. So what is happening in here is we are delivering CO2 into your skin with the mask delivery.
Okay.
In the old times, they were using injections to deliver CO2 to heal wounds quickly, regenerate the skin quickly. Give you examples. Let's say
I'm guessing this is safer?
It's quite safer.
Right.
And it is fast. The results are fast.
Sorry, you're going to give an example, and I cut you off there. Go ahead.
Don't worry about it. Example, let's say we have stretch marks. It used to be injected with CO2. And maybe 2 times, maybe 1 time, depending on the depth of the scar of the injection, of the stretch mark, I mean.
Right.
And the skin regenerates itself, collagen gets reborn quickly, and the stretch mark is gone forever.
Okay.
Now, let's say we have a wound or a surgery with the cesarean or any surgical cut. The carboxy would be applied on that wound, fresh, post-op wound, and it will help reduce swelling, inflammation. It will heal the wound so quickly you won't believe it.
Wow,
now, other than that, there is the super hydration level.
Okay.
It goes up to 117%.
Just to give you an idea of timing, we have about 4.5 minutes. So
Are we already there?
I'm
going to mix the mask. I'm not applying it. I'm going.
I don't want you to panic. I'm just giving you the heads up here.
There you go. It has to be mixed very well.
Right.
The nice thing about carboxy, it is super soothing.
Like, do I wear this the rest of the show? And like my guests are going to be like, Derek, this is unusual.
I would love to let you wear this for 45 minutes if you can handle it, and then we clean it off to get as much as we can.
It'd be a first on television, I'm sure.
Exactly. But I would demonstrate how it's applied and then how it's removed. But
so you can use this in, like, on your face. You mentioned cesareans. You could use it.
Any wounds, any surgical, post-surgical procedures, even post-radiated tissue.
Okay.
For breast cancer
Oh,
forbid.
really?
Yes, it regenerates the tissue and it helps healing so quickly. Now this mask reduces inflammation, reduces redness, increases hydration. It rejuvenates the skin completely.
It feels amazing.
It feels amazing,
Yeah.
exactly, yes.
How do I
It's a
look?
big reversal. You look amazing.
Yeah, okay.
Always.
I'm sure the
Reduces
guests in the
lines.
green room are probably having the best laugh of their life today.
Yes, and this mask also, Derek, reduces lines and wrinkles.
I could use
wish-
that, can't we all, right?
You don't have as much since you've been seeing me.
Well, that's true. It's
There you
very
go.
true. You're right.
Yes. Now, this mask also comes in a different form for vaginal rejuvenation, vaginal vulva rejuvenation.
Okay.
It is honestly the best solution for dryness, painful intercourse, aesthetically rejuvenating the
Okay.
vulva on the
Wow.
outside, helps with dryness, and also helps with urinary incontinence. If it's
Really?
used,
Wow.
yes,
Okay.
5 nights in a row and then once a week for the rest of 15 application. Total rejuvenation. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at
Soothing.
me. I'm a beautiful man already. You know why you can't see the wrinkles? Because we have a mask on me. No, I'm just kidding. Tell everybody at home, though, we've got about 2.5 minutes left, other services that you provide, right? Because this is a full Medi-Spa that you've got.
So we start with laser hair removal.
Okay.
For all skin types 1 to 6, we use Gentle Max Pro, Plus, Elite IQ, and we use Bare HR. So we cater for all skin colors and skin types.
Okay.
All hair types as well.
People with acne issues as well, right?
People with acne issues, we treat acne from A to Z. We transform skin. This is the problem of every youth and every adult with hormonal acne.
We're looking at, by the way, some of the photos you sent along.
Yes, the product line I use, IS Clinical, BioJuve, Elastin, and other.
And that's important for people to understand because we have to do like 80% of the work, right?
Exactly. I only do 20% with performing the treatments at the clinic, but the client needs to do the 80% at home by using proper skincare routine, morning and night. We're having so much success with reducing lines and wrinkles and acne.
Yeah.
And what else? Large pores, rough texture.
We're looking at some of the before and afters you sent
those
along
are before
here.
and after of acne peels that I've done, and also the client was on skincare at home. This is a beautiful resurfacing with the dermal infusion. So
look at the glow on there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. And here is laser rejuvenation to remove sun damage and redness on the chest.
Right.
Exactly. And now I remove lines and wrinkles and hooded lids with this one. And we have a beautiful example that we're going to take a picture of on Monday morning.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to have a beautiful before and after for the hooded lids. And we'll share that.
So tell everybody at home, you got a brand new location on Colonnade Road, right?
Exactly. It is 111 Colonnade Road, Suite 200, and we are happy to receive you all. I do all my best to take care of my clients, give results, and follow up.
I can tell you from personal experience, not only are you going to feel great, you're going to laugh your head off because she is so much fun to work with. No, I'm serious.
Thank you,
she
Derek,
is so much fun to work with, and you can find her.
You've been so much supportive too, and so
it's
much
my
fun
pleasure.
to work with.
You can visit her online, of course, and she's on social media as well. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I'm going to be more.
Okay.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Welcome to Secondary Dwelling from Hell. Okay, it's reveal day. We have a few hours before we have to give back the property. Joel and Anna are there right now cleaning and putting the finishing touches on. Come along with me for a day. I have a few errands to run. I want to show you a few upcoming projects. And then we're going to go back to Diamond and we're going to give it back. It is no longer the Secondary Dwelling from Hell. It's an amazing secondary dwelling. It's going to be so cool. Let's go.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Have I changed already? How are things looking? Welcome back to the show. So happy to introduce you to my next guest. They've been doing absolutely wonderful work, and they're certainly not done with that. I'm joined by Jody McCullough and Jillian Broser. Welcome. Great to have you both here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
I want to start with you, Jillian. Let's talk about the inspiration behind this foundation, and it's near and dear to you.
Yes, so I'm Jody.
I'm sorry, Jody.
That's okay. So
the mask is still affecting me, Jody.
J&J, no problem.
Sorry, go ahead, Jody.
Yes, so the Jordan Lee Foundation is in honor of my twin sister that passed away March 15, 2023. And she suffered from mental health for quite some time and substance use disorders. So me as a twin sister was very hard for me to watch that happen, right? She was my other half, she was my best friend, she was my everything. And she went into treatment, which was wonderful to see. And unfortunately, a tragic mistake happened when she got out.
Okay.
The grieving process for me was obviously decreased my mental health tremendously. I still have my bad days.
Yeah.
And this is when I said, like something clicked in my brain, and I said, hey, I can't bring her back, but I can do something beautiful with this.
And that's the inspiration behind the foundation. So
Yes.
let's talk about its beginnings, because from where you started to where you are today, you've had a lot of growth in that period, right?
Absolutely. Jillian, do you want to go ahead with our outbreak?
Yeah, it's crazy. So as she said, we launched on Jordan's 1 year of passing, so on March 15th, 2024, in honor of her. And the amount that we've done is, I think it blows both of our minds, to be honest. So what started as kind of like a project to sell like positive affirmations to help the well-being of people who are struggling turned into us becoming a nonprofit with a bigger mission to actually help people struggling with mental health and addiction. So yeah, it started off as a Rise Up collection, which is our website with the positive affirmation, and then now we're doing so many things. We're doing a partnership with a clinic, which Jody can tell you a little bit more in a bit. We're also going to our school this Thursday, and we're going to be doing an educational piece.
As well as, the homeless outreach that we've currently done.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at now. I told you when you sent me this video, Jody.
Yes, and it was absolutely...
It was emotional to watch.
It was the best day I've had since my twin sister passed away.
Really, eh?
Yes, it was. Yeah. And I will say, I recommend that people do this. Go out of your way and do something kind for people that are struggling. Because mental health and addiction doesn't define who you are. And the people out on the streets right now that have nothing are the ones that are most vulnerable. So let's show more compassion and empathy to these human beings.
So you put what, like a care package together?
Yes, we did a care package, of all the essential goods. We partnered up with a wonderful content creator who does this in Toronto. We went to Toronto, and it was such a beautiful experience. Oh, and I can't wait to do it again, and this is something I would love to do and get more people involved.
Nice. You mentioned the partnership that you wanted Jody to talk about. Let's talk about that.
So it's Every Soul Healing Center. It's a holistic and spiritual approach with all different types of services services like psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, family services, family counseling, addiction services, and our foundation wants to fund people that do not have the means to get these services, and we want to fund that to them.
Yeah, and it makes sense because a lot of these services, I mean, they do such amazing work, but they're not cheap.
No,
right?
exactly.
It costs a lot of money. Let's do a little show and tell. So these are your sort of the Rise Up
Yes.
products that you have, and I guess the purpose of it too is to make people feel good, and of course raise money for the foundation at the same time.
Absolutely.
Right? So walk me through. What have you brought along with you here today?
Yeah, so this is our Rise Up hoodie.
Nice.
It says Rise Up,
You are here for a reason.
Nice.
And we want you all to believe that, because you are.
Yes, it's a reminder for yourself and also for the people who see you wear it. So it has like a double effect. We also have our Turn Pain into Power t-shirts.
This is great. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
love this.
they're actually handmade in Montreal as well, so they're from local
nice.
from local suppliers.
Yes.
We also want to support locally,
Yeah.
and I think the message is
Again, just turn your pain into power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
With
a
our-
great message. Go ahead.
Thank you.
What
With
have you-
our beautiful bag, so be you, but be you, you are beautiful. And then we have our beautiful insulated water bottles here, and down it says Rise Up, and at the end it says Perfect, you got this, because you got this.
yes.
Something else you're doing, you've got a contest, right?
Yes,
Like a giveaway.
yes,
Tell me about
exactly.
that.
Exactly. So Jillian, do you want to go ahead with that?
Yeah, so we have a contest that we're going to launch on our Facebook today, so you can go check that out to get like more information. It's the Rise Up collection, but basically we've partnered with a lot of sponsors, and we want to give out some services that people need. So as she mentioned, we have a partner with the Every Soul Healing Center. They're going to offer either 2 hypnotherapy or 2 psychotherapy sessions.
Yes.
We are also going to be providing everything you see here on the table.
And
yes.
Denise Fournette, an amazing
Oh, yeah, I know
an
Denise, yeah.
amazing
Yes.
lifestyle intuitive life coach. She's offering two free life coaching sessions as well, which is
Fantastic,
incredible.
yeah.
We have a Reiki, free Reiki session as well, like energy
Yeah.
healing, and then we also have some other partnerships as well for more merch and things of that nature. And we just also wanted to give a big shout out to
Teresa Brown, yes.
Yes.
of
In Van Cleek Hill,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
She is an amazing person. She has been working with us since the very beginning. She has a heart of gold. She's showcased our products for us in the store absolutely free of charge. All the
Nice.
proceeds go to our foundation, and she has beautiful things besides what you see here. So really, if you're in Van Cleek Hill, please go check her out. She's an amazing person.
I've got about 30 seconds left. Jody, I'll leave you to the last word, to people out there that are struggling. What would you say to them?
You're not alone, and it's okay not to be okay. And the Jordan Lee Foundation, our mission is to also always make sure that you're seen, you're heard, and you're valued, and you can do this one day at a time.
Beautifully said. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you
really
so much.
appreciate all the time and effort you
Thank
put
you.
in.
You're amazing.
TheRiseUpCollection.com. You can find out more information there. They're on social media as well, Facebook, Instagram. You can check out those contest details on the Facebook page. We'll be back with more right after this.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
Welcome back to the show. They are the longest running musical theater company in the entire country. 111?
118.
118 years. I was so darn close. JT Morse is the general manager over at Orpheus Musical Theater, and Sam Smith is a cast member and a props builder for their latest production is called The Wizard of Oz. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here.
Good to see you.
118 years. I mean...
I wasn't there at the beginning.
No, well, I wasn't going to say that, Sam, but now that you said it, I might tease you a couple of times. JT, let's talk about musical theater and Orpheus in general. I'm sure most people are familiar, but I never assume.
Great to never assume, because we always introduce every time we're here to somebody new, right?
Yeah.
118 years old, started off as a musical education center and morphed into a musical theater company that produces 3 massive $200,000 musicals at Meridian Theaters at Center Point every year. 100% volunteers, from the cast to the set builders to the administrators.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
Latest production, everybody knows it. I mean, I don't think there's anyone out there. It is an absolute classic. I mean, we still watch it with our kids to this day, is The Wizard of Oz, but you've reimagined it, right, JT?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say I did, but it was really the directing team that came on and reimagined it. But yes, it's the story you all know from 1939, but it is set in more of a steampunk era, which you can see here is a bit about it, and Sam can talk a little bit about that, actually, if you can stretch on the steam.
Well, sure, yeah, from the fresh choreography to the sets and costumes. It's a different take on that. It's the same music and songs that everyone loves from the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, visually, it's totally different.
Let's talk about what you brought along here, Sam. You're going to go behind, right, and sort of show us what you've created here. Tell me about these 2 pieces you brought along. I guess it's all in one, but 2 separate.
Well, based on the set director's design, I then heard that they were doing it again. I was involved in the production 23 years ago.
Okay.
And I had squirreled away this base assembly for the eyes for the 2001 production. And being a world-class pack rat, so I then volunteered it out. I said,
nice.
If you would like to use it again, I would love for it to find a new home, finally.
Where has this been sitting? Like in your garage?
Literally in my garage.
Really?
Yeah, when I say squirreled away, that squirrels have been enjoying it quite
Squirrels have been inside of these props. Now, can you go behind, Sam, and just show us like exactly how they work for us?
So this is exactly what I did 23 years ago.
Okay.
So you have the right eyeball. Whoops, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Which
cool. Look
moves
at this.
all around.
This is great.
As the wizard talks and intimidates the cast.
Yeah.
And then you have the left eyeball, which is very different. The set directors come up with something that I was able to turn into real.
That is amazing.
So this is to intimidate.
Yeah. And you also play a role, right, Sam, in the production? Can you tell me about your role? We'll have you come back out for that one.
Okay.
Because,
I guess. Good.
Well, then you'd look like the Wizard of Oz back there, and we wouldn't be able to.
That's the point.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Are you the wizard?
I am not. No.
Okay.
I played the dual roles of Dorothy's Uncle Henry.
Okay.
In Kansas, like all of the characters in Kansas, we then transform into different characters in the Land of Oz. So I become the guard at the gates of the Emerald City to welcome them in and sing a song.
Okay.
NTM becomes Glinda the Good Witch. Miss Gulch becomes the Wicked Witch. the farm hands then become her friends in Oz.
That is awesome.
And Professor Marvel becomes the Wizard of Oz.
JT, this kicks off May 31st. Tell me about the run.
That's right, May 31st. This Friday we open and we run for 9 nights until June 9th at Meridian Theatre.
And there's a matinee or two in there, is that right?
So Sundays are matinees at 2 o'clock and all the other days are evening performances at 7:30.
Let's talk about the 2024-2025 season. I know I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but subscriptions is such a great idea for people to take advantage of, right?
Absolutely. So not too soon. I mean, 24-25 we announced it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, beautiful,
awesome.
The Carole King musical, and The Music Man. And we actually start selling those subscriptions on Friday as well when Wizard of Oz opens. Subscriptions is the way to go. If you booked for all 3 performances, you get the best seats in the house before anybody else can buy them, and they're $45 cheaper than regular tickets.
Fantastic.
So it's a great way to really enjoy community musical theater all year long.
I want to mention Schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Tell everybody at home about that. This is exciting.
Yeah, Schoolhouse, we're actually just wrapping up our 6th semester of Schoolhouse. So post-pandemic, we really started to shift more into the learning and development phase. And so what we do is we offer all these artistic classes for children and youth across the community, and we reserve a bunch of spots for anybody who has an accessibility need, low income, no questions asked, who needs artistic training for free. And actually, what's really exciting about this last one, this was our first semester where we were able to fund 2 classes entirely free.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
half of the kids there didn't have to pay a dime.
So does the funding come through the ticket sales? Is that the idea?
Part of it comes from the ticket sales. A lot of it comes from our donors, but the other part of it as well is we have a pricing tier system. So other people who are joining the class, they can pay the top level price, which is still the cheapest in Ottawa.
Yeah.
But that helps fund for the other kids who can come in at no charge. And then we have a pay what you want. But most of it comes in from our donors and those other tickets in there. Yeah.
Auditioning will obviously be coming up. Sam, just wanted to get your perspective, for somebody watching out there and, they're excited like, oh, I've always wanted to be on stage. Just what is that experience like, especially with a volunteer theater company like this?
It's petrifying, but...
Appreciate the honesty,
yes,
Sam.
Yeah, it is. But no, it's lots of fun. There's no attitudes, there's no pressure. It's just, people should find a song that they can, go to an opening meeting. Orpheus always does an opening meeting to give information to the public, to learn about what the show is about, what you would be required to do to learn a song that you can sing with a piano accompaniment, read for if you want to do a part. And do a little dance number because it's a musical. There's usually a dance.
Yeah, absolutely. Next auditions are coming up when, JT? Do we know yet?
They will be for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory end of August, maybe early September. I think end of August though. So stay tuned. And like Sam said, everybody is welcome. Any experience level, you'll probably get in. I get in.
They took me. Hey.
I love it. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Again, kicks off May 31st, runs to June the 9th. And don't forget, they have a couple of matinee shows available as well. We'll be back with more right after this. Awesome.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting Sober Driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Join us for Season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
Welcome back to the show. It really is one of the most clever names when it comes to an event. It is called Push for Your Tush, and it happens in cities across the country, and it's happening here in Ottawa on June 2nd, raising funds for a great cause, and that is for colorectal cancer Canada research and treatments. And joining me to talk more about it, I'm joined by Natasha Bassett-Saltarelli. Welcome, Natasha. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk colorectal cancer in general terms. First of all, what exactly is it, Natasha?
Sure. So colorectal cancer is actually either cancer of the colon or the rectum. Just together, we call it colorectal.
Right.
And so essentially, it's a digestive cancer.
Statistics-wise, how common is it in this country?
So more common than people think.
Okay.
You know, we hear a lot about other cancers. Most people are very surprised when I tell them the next thing that I'm about to tell you, which is the fact that it is the second deadliest cancer across the nation. And yeah.
Do we know why that is?
No, I think like a lot of cancers, you know, these days there just tends to be more diagnoses. I think lifestyle factors, we live very differently than our forefathers did. We know what some of the increased risks are, but we don't really know what the causation is.
Let's talk signs and symptoms then. What are some of those signs and symptoms that people should look out for?
Absolutely. So signs and symptoms, unfortunately, are very similar to anything that you might experience without thinking that it's cancer.
Okay.
So any changes in bowel habits, diarrhea, constipation, vomiting, nausea, anemia, extreme fatigue, changes in your bowels. So if you have narrower stools than usual, blood in your stool. Obviously, if there's blood in your stool, you should be going to consult.
No matter what.
But a lot of people will say, oh, I just thought, you know, I had a tear or I have hemorrhoids. And so they often dismiss that symptom. We also have, obviously, loss of appetite and weight loss for no cause. So these are things that people might say, oh, I have indigestion. You know, I ate something the night before that doesn't settle well. Those are symptoms that we should be taking seriously, especially if it's prolonged symptoms.
Is it difficult to diagnose? How is it diagnosed exactly?
So in the population, that's the target population for screening. So that would be 50 to 74, no symptoms, no previous history. Those people would get tested every 2 years via a FIT test, which I've actually done before, even though I'm not in that target population.
Yeah, I've done it myself as well.
Right, so it's like a little tube, you just poke your poop, send it back in, and that's it.
Yeah, you actually mail your poop.
You actually mail your poop.
It's true. We're allowed to have a little fun with this. They used to have some great ads, I recall, a few years ago. It was a comedian that was doing it, and I forget his name offhand. Anyway, it was nice to see because it's a serious issue, but to have a little bit of fun with it, I think helps spread awareness.
Yes.
As far as spreading awareness for Colorectal Cancer Canada, let's talk about what you do specifically to help. I know it's far and wide reaching.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we have partnerships with lots of clinics and we try to get posters out and material. But then there's events like this beautiful Push for Your Tush where we are across the country and we do we have t-shirts and you see us walking, and obviously the name is quite catchy. So people ask, you know, what it is. We're present at community events, fairs. We have a giant colon that actually travels the nation as well. Yes. It's a 40-foot colon that you can walk through. It's inflatable. So those are sort of some of the things that we do to just make it easy to talk about and less taboo.
We're just looking at some of the footage of last year's Push for Your Tush. I mean, obviously, some people might want to compete, you know, and you know, but it really is about having fun, right, and getting people together. What's the experience like for people, Natasha?
Honestly, it's amazing. I think once you get there, you're full of energy. We had some serious runners, so we actually did the Montreal run yesterday.
Oh, okay.
And we have some serious runners who come out, and they're competitive on their own. But I think everybody knows that they're there for a good cause and to support, you know, patients and survivors and those who unfortunately we've lost.
How far have we come with treatments?
a long way since 25 years ago when
Okay.
this sort of started,
Right.
but there's still some ways to go in terms of standard treatments.
Yeah, so what sort of treatments are available right now?
So that would depend.
Okay.
It would really depend on the type that you have, the stage of your cancer as well, right? So there's some ways to go in precision medicine, which is where we think the future of all sort of cancer treatment will go, is really based on your tumor type and not your disease type. Right now, cancer is
I
treated
see.
like, if I have breast cancer, I get treated with this treatment. If I have, colon cancer, I get this treatment, rather than the tumor's makeup itself.
I see. When it comes to the diagnosis, I imagine early detection the most important. Like, how dangerous is? I guess if you get to a certain stage, right? Like any cancer, you're in trouble.
So we
right?
say this is why that screening, the preemptive screening of 50 to 74, is so important. I know that there's a lot of people asking to lower that age.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the fastest rising segment of the population, that is up until 39. So we have
Okay.
really young people that are being diagnosed. However, if you have symptoms, your cancer is probably a little bit further along. So that colonoscopy and the FIT test allow you to detect sort of like polyps, right, before they become cancerous. And again, we talked about people who don't have any family history.
Right.
If you do have a family history, it would be 10 years prior to your family member's diagnosis or the age of 50, depending on what comes first. But that's something that you would talk about with your doctor, depending again as to why the reason was that they were diagnosed.
Getting back to Colorectal Cancer Canada, do you have peer support? Like, what sort of supports do you have in place?
Yeah, so we actually have a patient support program. We use the term patient, but that's anybody. So it could be
Right.
caregivers, friends, family members. We do support groups. We do individual therapy. We have a registered social worker who's able to do that. And we have one-on-one sessions where we can actually, help people navigate the system if they're looking for more information. And then we have that peer aspect as well. So if somebody wants to be, kind of put together with somebody else who's gone through it, we do that as well.
For people that want to get involved with Push for Your Tush, what's the best way to register?
Absolutely. So we have a website called pushforyourtush.ca.
Okay.
You can always come in person on Sunday morning. The event registration starts at 9 a.m. The event will take off at 10:15. But you can also join virtually. So people who cannot, maybe leave their home or want to do something else to stay active and still join and raise funds can do that as well. So
Excellent.
pushforyourtush.ca.
I love it. Natasha, thank you so much. Really appreciate this. This is a great way for us to raise awareness to our viewers out there. Again, that's at Strathcona Park on June the 2nd. Pushforyourtush.ca to find out more information. And of course, you can visit the Colorectal Cancer Canada website to find out more resources and information if you need it. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
We invite you to play What's My Line?
Welcome, Mrs. Baker. Those folks over there need to guess your extraordinary occupation.
Are you an entertainer, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Do people come to watch you perform?
Yes. Do you travel for work? Yes, I do.
Do you ever wear a special type of costume?
Yes.
Is your job, physical?
Yes, indeed.
Are you a member of a team?
Yes.
Are you a professional baseball player?
Yes, I am.
Created during the Second World War, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League included 68 Canadians. One of its brightest stars was my mother, Saskatchewan's Mary Bonnie Baker, a pioneer for women in sports.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you join us on our next Hour to Give. We're featuring Kelly Funeral Home. We're going to speak about an important program called Arbor Care Grief Support Program, and they may be able to help you. Join us then.
Every year, Dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Welcome back to the show. Really excited to have my next guest back on the show because they've gone through so many incredible challenges. And as I know, many charities and nonprofits and not-for-profits have gone through a lot. But, you know, for those of you that have somebody on the spectrum and you're looking for help and resources, it just seems to be becoming more and more difficult. Brenda Reich is the Executive Director of Children at Risk Ottawa. Welcome back, Brenda.
Thank you,
Great
Derek.
to have you here.
Yeah.
Very personal to you. Obviously, you have a young man yourself. Your son Ian.
32 in December.
32 years old now. Let's just talk about Ian and what you and your family have gone through together, Brenda.
Oh wow. Yeah, I mean, we knew it about a year and a half something wasn't right. And we saw a Suzuki program. We called the doctor. He was about 2.5 when he got his diagnosis. Nonverbal, lining cars up, no eye contact, classic autism. Right. But yeah, it has not been easy through the years. You know, he is in the very severe end of the spectrum, and he did go into crisis when he was 15. Was at CHIO, and yeah, he's in a group home. He's very well supported right now. It's been a long road, though.
No kidding.
And I feel for these families that we're dealing with because they're going through the same thing.
Well, and you know, you had so much incredible success, and like many organizations, you know, the pandemic hit, and things weren't that difficult at that point, right? Because you were being supported quite well during that time. Tell us a little bit about that.
There were wage subsidies and rent subsidies and even income subsidies for charities. And we accessed everything that we could, and we were doing fairly well, but we missed the last income subsidy by 3%. In other words, we were down 47% on income. Okay. That's fundraising, donations, and grants, and it was $100,000 that we missed from the government. Wow. So we have some reserves. Had to use that then, last year as well. The cupboard's getting bare.
So where do you find yourselves today then, as a charity?
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
we're on pins and needles for sure, and to find 2 other local charities. I mean, what a way to observe Autism Awareness Month for 2 charities to close in the Ottawa area, Types and Awesome Ottawa. And we don't want to be the third, but shortly after that, we got the news of our Canada Summer Jobs, which, you know, was more of
that's a grant?
It's a grant we apply for.
Okay.
It reimburses you for minimum wage for people that are working at your camp. That's all you can use it for.
Okay.
There's lots of criteria about their hours and this, but we've really been very reliant on it during COVID. I mean, it was more of a complement pre-COVID, and we were doing lots of other fundraising, but fundraising didn't happen during COVID.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Very little, and plus, you know, you wanted to keep your income down so you could get those nice big subsidies that were coming in, But yeah, unfortunately now we've supplemented our, you know, for the last couple of years. Last year they went back to their pre-pandemic amounts, they said, so that was about a 50% cut from what we were getting during COVID. We just got the news of 43% of the 50% cut for camp.
Cut
for
as well.
Yeah.
And that you're talking about Camp Kaleidoscope, right? Leah, well, let's tell everybody at home what you provide. No, what you provide at Children at Risk. Let's start with the camp.
Mainly recreational respite programs. I mean, the charity's 45 years old.
Yeah.
For a good portion of those years, it did get some government funding. It ran programs. 2001, 2002, a lot of those programs were amalgamated under other, like Ottawa Children's Treatment Center and CHIO. We were always set up as a registered charity, though, so we continued to exist as long as we could get donations and grants and do fundraisers. So we kept doing that, and for the most part it was going quite well, and to the point that we decided to launch Camp Kaleidoscope in 2011. So because we were hearing from so many families that in the summer their kids couldn't go to camps for typically developing children, or they get kicked out of them due to behaviors, not training. I mean, our camp has a one-to-one counselor to staff. You know, we have behavioral training, nonviolent crisis intervention, first aid. You know, we do all the best practices. But it's expensive. impressive.
Yeah, it is. We're just looking at, by the way, some footage here on our monitor of a previous
camp
camp
last year.
Oh, nice. So let's talk about your numbers. So your numbers were where, and where are we at today with the amount of campers that you can actually take on because of the funding?
At one point, we were having 60 to 70 campers a week. That was a few years ago, actually 2018. During COVID, we went down to about 30 to 40. Some families were very hesitant to send their children due to COVID, but we just crunched numbers with this grant or lack thereof, and 15 children a week is our maximum right now.
For July and August.
Yeah, unless we can raise more money.
So how can we, that's a call to action, so how can people help? What's the best way to give you a hand?
Donating money is the best, or if you know a business or a corporation or something like that might have a charitable cause area, and they can donate, because the families do pay a fee, but we're looking for about $1,000 a week per child.
Okay.
When you do the one-to-one, it's not just the counselor. There's group seconds, group leaders, behavioralist, a kitchen person, maintenance staff.
Of course.
It costs a lot, but prior to our camp, I mean, there are a few others that operate in the city, but prior to our camp, not a lot was available. These kids weren't allowed. I mean, I know when Ian was younger, I couldn't send him to a program unless I paid out of my pocket for a one-to-one, or he was even denied doing that. And we don't, the philosophy of this is it's not the child's fault for the severity of their diagnosis. And it penalizes the family and the child. It's almost discrimination to a certain extent, but we've proven, for this will be our 14th year, that we can do it. We can accommodate these children. They can have fun. They can go on outings.
Have you been able to put events back on again to raise funds? I know that's always difficult.
We are, but the attendance is not there. Grants, things that used to work prior to COVID just aren't working. Places that we're applying to. I mean, I know the economy is tight. I know it's really tough for everybody out there.
Absolutely.
And that, but yeah, we don't. They're not as successful, and that's why I said we've been really relying on the Canada Summer Jobs.
Yeah, not only that. I mean, you'd love to be able to expand your programs, right?
I would like to get back to some numbers of being able to serve those families.
Exactly. Like childrenAtRisk.ca, best place to go, Brenda.
We have Canada Helps on there. You can make a donation and get your tax receipt right away.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was great to see you again.
You too.
All the best. We'll be back with more right after this.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
I'm Sam LaPrade, host of Ottawa Business Matters. We're going to gather here every single week and speak about business here in the capital. We're going to inspire, influence, and inform.
Welcome back to the show. I started writing a book, I believe it was back in 2018. I still haven't finished it. My next guest is on her 25th book. I am joined by Brenda Chapman. She is a crime fiction writer. Welcome back, Brenda.
Thanks,
Great to have. Hey, congratulations.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that is quite a career so far. When did you get into writing?
When?
Yeah.
Well, my first published book was 2004.
Okay.
Of course, I'd written before that, not published. I started with short stories. So, yeah. It's been a while.
Let's talk about this latest book. It is called Fatal Harvest, right? This is part of a series of books that you're writing. Tell me a little bit about this latest book.
It's the third in the series. Fatal Harvest started with a setting, really, the idea for the book.
Okay.
My husband and I were driving home from Ashton through the country roads, and I saw the farm houses set way back and the big properties in the woods, and I thought this would be a great place for a murder mystery.
Right. This is part of your Hunter Tate mystery series.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the characters in this series, the ones that are the constant throughout.
I have a true crime reporter, Ella Tate, who's a bit destitute. She's living in the Glebe in a garret apartment, actually the same one I used to live in.
Really?
Yeah, before I met my husband. And she's been laid off from the paper, and she starts a true crime podcast. And then she meets Liam Hunter, who's a detective, Irish, kind of a loner kind of guy.
Okay.
And they kind of team up a little bit to solve cases.
All of your books you can read as a standalone, but I think there is growth of the characters, right?
There is.
Throughout those books.
Yeah, this is my second kind of police procedural series, and I have my main characters that I develop throughout. And then I have another series, the Stone Child and Rouleau series, same thing. But each is a separate mystery with a separate cast of suspects and can be read
The
alone.
Stone Child Rouleau series, there's some exciting news, and I know we're trying to temper our excitement a little bit, but needless to say, though, it is pretty exciting. Brenda, tell us about it.
Yeah, Sullivan Entertainment has purchased a shopping agreement for Cold Morning, the first in the series, with a view to making it into a television series. They did Road to Avonlea and Wind at My Back, amongst other shows, so it is quite exciting. Now they're looking for a showrunner, setting up the ducks in the row to
I guess that's the shopping option sort of part of it, quote unquote. So they love the idea, and now they're like, listen, Brenda, we're going to take your idea and try to sell it.
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
That's the stage we're at now.
Okay. Okay.
But very validating.
Let's go back to Fatal Harvest. So you mentioned where it's happening, and obviously there's a murder involved. You're a crime story writer. What else can you tell us about the storyline? Obviously, without giving away too much.
There's a murder in a farmhouse outside of Ashton, and a 12-year-old boy who was staying there for the summer goes missing, and there's also a sort of a subplot of one of the cops, Rosie Thorburn, introduced in One Last Scene.
Okay.
And she's going through some personal and professional issues that are explored through this book as well.
You have some other things coming up. Let's talk about, you've got a short story called, what is it, The Pool?
The Pool, yes.
Tell me about that.
If I say too much about the pool, I'll give it away.
Okay.
But it's a neighborhood.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess it's that short, right?
It's a neighborhood pool, and something bad kind of happens.
That's being released in June?
It's coming out in June from Superior Shores Press.
Okay.
There was a call-out. It's an anthology. There was a call-out for stories to do with larceny and last chances, which is the title of the anthology. They cut it off at 80 and took 21. And mine was one selected.
Congratulations.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The Hunter Tate series, my understanding is you're already on writing book number 4?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sort of working at the conclusion right now on the first draft.
Oh, really?
On the first draft.
Okay.
And then there's a ton of editing that goes after that.
I love your reaction to that part. There's a ton of editing there.
Until you're sick of the book. But, yeah, it's just part of it.
What is your process? Like, do you write with the understanding that there's another book coming, or I did say these are standalones, but with the growth of the characters, do you always have that in mind, that there's going to be a next book?
As I'm kind of wrapping up the one, I'm trying to think of where it's going to go, the next one. So until I'm until I've had enough, I guess.
The Stone Child series now would be book number 8 you would be working on. Is that the next project that you're thinking
That'll
of?
be what I start this summer. I'll start working on book 8 while I'm editing the 4th.
What have the reviews been like so far, Brenda, for both series?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. I get a lot of emails from readers, strangers, and that really enjoyed the books, which is, again, very validating and keeps me at the keyboard, really.
Do you have like a little, I always picture, authors, you've got your own like little private room where you sit at the table and you're looking out the window and you just work away. Like what's the atmosphere, the environment you work in?
I do that. But I'm lately working more and more on a laptop.
Okay,
Sometimes watching the Blue Jays.
You don't find that distracting? No. That's so funny. I actually do my notes for the show, like with the TV on, and my wife always says, this is not distracting whatsoever. I think it's helpful sometimes.
I think
it's kind of a white noise in the background. People can pick up your books wherever books are sold?
Yeah, all of the independents have them in Ottawa. A lot of the Coles and Chapters have them. They're on Amazon. You can order them.
And you've got a whole bunch of book signings coming up as well. That's available on your website, right?
Yes. All the information where I'm going to be is kept up to date on the main page of my website.
Excellent.
Which is brendachapman.ca.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Congratulations again on your latest.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Join us for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, right here on Rogers TV.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to the show. What a great Monday show. Let's review some of the things we talked about. My good friend Shireen, just so proud of her getting her own space. She used to actually work out of her husband Moody, has a wonderful hair salon, Moody's Hair Salon. But she's got her own space now on Colonnade Road, and you can find out all the information at sublimemedispa.com. She's got a Facebook page, Instagram account as well that you can check out. Big thanks to Jody and Jillian as well, the Jordan Lee Foundation. They're doing such wonderful work, and I know that they want to continue to grow and continue with that focus on mental health and addiction and helping those that are most vulnerable in our community. You can find out all the information on theriseupcollection.com. You can purchase there and find out more about what they're doing in the community. The Wizard of Oz at Meridian Theaters at Centerpoint, Orpheus Musical Theater's latest production. It is a reimagined production, all those same songs that you absolutely love. Kicks off May 31st and runs until June 9th, and you can get your tickets at orpheusmusicaltheatre.ca. And Push for Your Tush Ottawa happening June 2nd, pushforyourtush.ca to register. We'll see you next time here on Daytime.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Some of Canada's most interesting and accomplished people share their lives, careers, insights, and stories each week on Canada Files. I'm Valerie Pringle, and I'll be speaking with economist Mark Carney, actor Eugene Levy, author Louise Penny, and architect Moshe Safdie, among others. I hope you can join us.
and roasted the most perfectly golden brown marshmallow you'd ever seen. And the crowd went